Hello and welcome to the Advent 7 podcast. I'm your host and guy talking at the screen during the movie, Trey. And I'm joined today by my partner in crime and popcorn eating, Andrew.
Hola.
We also have the Waldorf and Staten of the cinema, Matt and Spencer.
Hello.
And we also have that one guy who always has the DVD hookup, Frank.
Hello.
He also works in a movie theater.
I mean, I can also
I've
get
also
you free
worked in a movie
tickets
theater.
too. I mean, I can still get you like $1 discount tickets. You know, hey.
Yeah.
What's
so
up?
He's the guy to have it in with, obviously.
Like that used to be me, but
It used to
I've
be
moved
you.
on.
You left us. You left the movie theater. Left the movie theater industry.
Theater life.
It's okay. I'm the one that met Greg Marcus. So
Oh God.
yes,
The biggest disappointment of my
Yes.
life, not meeting Big Daddy Greg.
Greg Marcus actually
Anyways.
visited our local
Oh.
theater, and I got a picture with him. I got to put my arm around him and make him uncomfortable. It's great. I have the awkward smile of his in picture form next to mine. I'm gonna
You should have
brag
put that
about
in the slideshow.
I probably
That
should.
Absolutely
I'll
is the
play-
way that you should describe meeting this guy.
It was glorious. But anyways, I'll let Trey carry on while I find the image. Actually,
Oh, Jesus.
So, in case you weren't sure, today we are talking about the movies, whether they were streamed, screened, or postponed. Before we get started, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you do, we love it if you left a like on the video, share it with your friends, get the word going, and of course, subscribe for more content. Once you're done here, check out some of our other content. Andrew is currently working his way through Neo: The World Ends With You. So his last video was covering episode days
Day 3.
3 and 4.
Yep.
So
Yep.
check that.
it's just
Day-
day 3. I
Yep.
tried to
So
make it through
check that
day
out.
3 and 4, and it took me too long. So, but yep, it's up there.
So more to come after that as well. And if you just enjoy hearing us talk, feel free to check out our Catch Up on Life podcast, which was last month's podcast. Hear us talking about all things that are happening in life, from the disasters in this world to why we hate Burger King, but also love it. And if you don't have infinite time, we are releasing highlight clips from our previous shows. It's like Coke Zero, all the flavor with none of the time commitment. And with that out of the way, silence your cell phones, because the show's about to start.
I've silenced mine.
So, boys, let's get talking about some movies. The thing that has been the most affected by the end times, which we easily could have avoided, but here we are.
Yeah, I was trying to think about like movies I'd seen recently that I wanted to talk about, and there just were not many opportunities to see recent movies that had just come out for the big elephant in the room. But I did see Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard about a week or so ago. That movie was incredible.
I so badly want to see that after seeing the first one just a couple months ago, actually.
I have a hard time believing that the sequel actually outdid the original in terms of shock value and ridiculous Ryan Reynolds humor. But
Yeah,
that's
'cause
exactly.
that's not normally a thing.
Yeah, like I expected it to be just like, the same exact movie, and it was, but the same exact movie cranked up to 11. So,
Aw, dang, and I did want to see that movie, but wasn't on a streaming service, so I was left in the cold.
it's not on any streaming service.
It might be, but it's probably going to cost money. But I'm pretty sure it's only in theaters right now.
Yeah,
So on the
renting any movie, like about paying like $30 to watch it right now, it's a pretty steep price. You could end up paying less than that for the actual physical copy when it comes out later.
Yeah.
Yep, that is my
I know.
argument and comment on every Disney Plus video, because Disney Plus has put out 2 videos, basically the same 2 videos explaining what Premiere Access is. And on both of those videos I put, but why would we pay $30 for a movie that's going to be cheaper later.
In fairness, like, the movie would cost about $15 for a regular admission ticket anyways, so you're only paying about twice that much to actually own the movie and watch it as many times as you want. However, $15 is also already, like, highway robbery in my opinion, so I save up for going to, like, the $5 movie nights on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Marcus Theaters. Like, I just pay a fraction of that $30 instead.
Yeah.
I mean, I give you free tickets. I have those. I
That
just keep
too.
getting them. I don't use them.
We're lucky. We have Frank. So he saves us a crap ton of money on movie tickets. I appreciate that about you, Frank.
I
Yeah.
don't get those cheap movie nights anymore since I don't live there.
No, you do not. What's the
Yeah.
what's the closest movie franchise to where you guys are?
B&B Theaters and AMC.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say AMC should be the one down there.
Yeah.
AMC probably has some.
So I
deals.
remember, guys.
Yeah.
It's like remember to chip into your AMC stock. Keep track of it.
Oh my
Must hold.
god.
How to get
Yeah.
that money?
To the moon.
Maybe.
Matt's
Maybe
got
pay
that.
no attention to the fact that it's been dropping constantly.
Matt's definitely got that
To
good
the
old
moon.
AMC stock.
To
I'll tell you
the
what.
moon.
I bought it super cheap. I'm still up, technically.
Technically.
As long as you're up, it's fine.
I don't
Yeah,
think I don't
right.
think technically means he's actually up.
No, it's still worth like
Up.
4 times what I bought it for. But
Okay.
it used to be worth more. I should have sold it.
I like going to the
Only
B&B
up here at
theaters
Echo.
more, just because the AMCs that are around me are not like as renovated. They don't have as nice of seats as they don't have like the reclining seats and everything, which is mildly annoying at this point.
It's like
I-
once you get used to the luxury of having a reclining heated seat, you just can't go back.
Well, I
Absolutely
don't know
not.
where. Do they have heating seats now? Is that a thing?
Yes. Yes,
oh
it is.
gosh. Well,
Wait, is
Yeah,
it a
no,
thing at
the-
Marcus Theaters?
Yeah, the Marcus Theaters, the ultra deluxe screen 1 has heated seats.
It's not a story
Wow.
AMC would tell you.
Wow, I
yeah,
had no idea.
I think, like regardless of like what type of seat it is, I think the thing that I can't live without now is not being able to select your seat, like
Oh,
not
yeah.
having to like wait in line and try to fight for particular seats.
Yeah.
the
I'm
long
glad
ago
for
times
for that innovation.
Yeah, like having actually
Yeah.
reserved seats and not having to worry about if you're actually going to get the seat that you wanted, or at the very least even having a seat for the occasional what it would have been overselling of a theater. It's like I like having reserved seating, so I can just show up like a minute before and just be like, yep, that's where I'm at.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I got a story for you boys.
Oh, what's that?
So
Oh boy.
it's a story from the before times of trying to go see a movie without reserved seating.
Sure.
Okay.
So the movie, it's like the year 2009. The movie
So long
Avatar.
Oh
yes,
jeez.
yes, the movie that everybody went out to watch more than once.
The movie that gave us the unnecessary price hike of $2 extra on every ticket. The movie that caused every other movie after it to have at least to have a 3D option for 6+ years.
Thank goodness
Avatar.
that died. Thank God that trend finally died.
So many pieces of plastic we've had to recycle. But yeah, that movie, me and my family, we tried to go see that movie on 2 different occasions. The first time we went there, we bought our tickets. The line was stretched around every other door in the theater. And by the time my family got there trying to be ready for the movie, it was like, nah, sorry, we are at capacity. Talk to the front desk to get a new ticket for next time.
Ooh. Oh no!
And you know what we had to do for the next time we showed that movie?
The same
We
thing.
showed up an hour and a half early to be in line to watch the movie.
Yuck.
So,
I remember having to do that a couple of times, and it always sucked massively.
I never had it that bad.
I think that is the only time I've ever had to wait multiple hours to go see a movie, to wait in line at the door with my ticket just to get into the theater.
Yeah, I don't think I had to wait like an hour and a half, but I solidly remember like showing up like 40, 45 minutes early to try and get tickets.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely. It's like showing up early to get tickets, get your popcorn, make sure you're able to get to a decent seat. God, I'm glad those times are over.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had that problem. Then again, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so we only had one theater.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But what if everybody wanted to go see the movie that was playing?
No one in hell, not everyone in the goddamn town will be going to see either Fast and Furious or Avatar.
It's middle of nowhere town. Well, probably most of it's old people, anyways.
Old peoples and farmers. Yep. They see a bunch. They see sci-fi and go, "It's not about a horse. I don't care."
That's why they need. Why didn't your town have a drive-in? Yeah, I've ever been to a drive-in.
Yeah, I have.
Once.
I don't think I've actually ever been to a drive-in.
I haven't
And I
been
also
to.
similarly come from a small-ass town.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
So
is
Drive-ins are not actually all that common. Not anymore.
No.
No,
Like
no,
they're
they aren't.
actually rather uncommon.
Yeah, there's at least one.
Yeah, they're a dying breed.
Yeah, there's at least one near where I used to live, so it's still up and going. Every now and again, they'll probably play on something there, but you know, it's a special event, not a every weekend affair.
Yeah, I remember during the darkest of the dark times, the Twin Creek here in Nebraska, here in Omaha, decided to turn itself into a drive-in for a little bit.
Wait, that happened?
I never went. Yeah, they had drive-in starting about. I think it was at the start. It was either because I heard about it when I moved back here. So it was definitely the start of 2021 because they were starting to open back up, but they weren't ready to fully open up. So they decided to make a drive-in at first.
That's actually pretty smart, considering that they have that massive parking lot out front, and in front of the parking lot is another gigantic open field. So they would be able to just set up their movie screen out there in the field, and people just reverse the, the direction of how they park their car, and boom, there you go. So yeah, that's a big brain play on their part. I'm impressed.
Yeah, so the movie experience has been interesting.
Yeah, the movies have been an interesting kind of thing lately. I will also go on record and say that I don't know what the big deal is about Avatar because I never saw it. So everybody's
You've
talking
never seen
about
Avatar?
Nope, never have.
I've never seen Avatar.
And I never will at this rate.
How have you never seen Avatar?
Because of people like you that give me crap about it.
Spencer, Andrew will have a what to watch list far longer than his bucket list when he dies.
Oh, 100%.
This is going to be a known fact.
Dude, normal people come up to me and are like, hey, have you ever seen this movie, XYZ? And I'm like, no, man, but nope. I watched Higehiro last night. That was pretty good. So,
gosh.
Yeah, now you know where my life has gone.
And he will never let it die.
Like, what was I doing when everybody was going out to see Avatar? What, it was 2009? I was...
Yeah.
I think Fridays on Cartoon Network was still a thing at that time. Yeah.
I think so. It was like the end of Fridays.
Yeah, that's probably what I was doing. I was watching Cartoon Network.
So,
I mean-
so here's your Avatar summary. It's like Pocahontas.
Yeah, I've
but
heard
everybody's blue and in space.
that. Yep.
Or watch
Yep.
Dances
Space
with Wolves.
Pocahontas. Yeah,
Dances with Wolves.
that kind of
Or just
sums
watch
it up.
Dances with Wolves. You'd be fine.
I
Yep,
have.
Dances with Wolves in Space Pocahontas.
I've heard that. I've heard that before. Yeah, that seems to be the popular go-to for the description. Hey, I didn't see Pocahontas either, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
You dirty non-Disney baby.
So
Okay, I can't fault him for that either. I didn't watch Pocahontas until I was a lot older, like say 10.
the first time I saw like any like Disney animated movie was like The Lion King, and I think it was like the 3D re-release of The Lion King in theaters when I was in high school.
Oh, that's one of the best places to go see.
I mean, it's great because when I went to go see that right after school was over, I think it was like a Thursday, I went to go see it with my friend Aaron, and we were like the only two people in the entire theater, and we get to the part with like Simba and his girlfriend, and they're like rolling around in the grass and flowers, and that's when Aaron looks at me and says, "Oh, that's right, I forgot this is kind of a romantic movie." And so he gets up slowly and shifts over one seat away from me. And I look at him and I say, "Dude, we're literally the only two people in the theater, and you're gonna do this?" And he's like, "Yep."
Did
And
you move closer to him in return?
It's because his girlfriend could smell you on him.
Dude, I don't even think he was dating his girlfriend yet. I think we were like in our junior year of high school. He he did that, and he didn't move back to the seat next to me even after the romance scene was over. I was like, I guess I see how it is. So
Yeah, it is, Aaron. I see how it is.
But I'll tell you what though, I am so glad that the 3D phase is over for movie theaters, because even in the years following like its big ballooning of hype with Avatar, almost every big budget movie would have a 3D option, and that took up time slots that the normal 2D movie could have played at. So you show up for say Doctor Strange or whatever, and you really want to see it, but tickets for Doctor Strange midnight release, they sold out like 2 months ago. So the closest you could get was a 3D showing that night. And they're like, "Oh crap, here we go again." So we show up, and I bring my roll of Scotch tape so I can properly tape the dumb 3D glasses to my actual glasses, because the bridge of my nose isn't big enough to keep up two different pairs of glasses on my face at the same time. Every damn time that happened. I do not miss 3D movies whatsoever. That
Speaking
can
of
just...
3D movies,
Yeah.
speaking of 3D movies, what do you think was the first 3D movie? Like,
The
what
first?
year was it?
It was like a
Matrix?
no. The first one was like in the 1950s, because that was like the
Nope.
trend back then to wear 3D glasses. What? Well,
Nope.
All right. Well, what is it, Spencer?
No,
The
Spike
first
is 3D.
The first, like, actually, like,
Spike is 3D.
like recorded 3D movie. No,
for that, too.
1920, The Power of Love.
Oh, that's lame.
Love.
Yeah,
Why was it in 3D?
3D stuff has actually been, like, the concept of a 3D movie has actually been around since the 20s. It's just been
I mean,
supremely hard to do because it required, like, weird
it
projector
requires two
configurations,
cameras.
and you had to be, like, right dead center because it wasn't using any kind of, like, it was kind of using eyeglass stuff, but point is that this trend has, like, happened a solid, like, 3 or 4 times now, and it always dies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you get one movie that seems to really kind of do it well because it was made for it, and then everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, this is it," and then you get the pile on of everything after it being kind of co-opted into 3D, and then it all just fails.
Yeah.
This has happened
Yeah.
multiple times.
And that's because it's like a gimmick.
All trends are cyclical.
It is a gimmick.
Yeah, like people find it exciting at first because it's not something that has been around for quite a while. They really get into it and makes it quite a bit of money, but then slowly the trend just peters off because less and less people go back for it. It's like, okay, I've seen it once, I've seen it twice, 3 times. Give me the normal thing again. I don't need to pay an extra $5 to see it in 3D this time.
Which is basically the reason why it failed every single time. It's because of cost, and now also in our day and age where we have home video as well, you couldn't watch it in 3D. And 3D TVs equally had the same problem with classes and lack of content, and so those died as well.
I actually have my family has a 3D TV.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And a 3D Blu-ray player.
I'm very sorry.
We haven't used the 3D in forever. I mean, we bought like a crap ton of movies that could work in the 3D back when they were popular. It's just we just bought the TV because it was the nicest TV at the time, and the TV works fine. It's just we just now have a TV that we just don't use the 3D function on it anymore.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Nintendo 3DS. Nobody uses the 3D part of it.
Goodness, dude, I always turn that thing off. Always.
I mean, new 3DS was better at it.
It was better at it once it added the eye tracking.
I believe, okay, when did 3DS come out? Was it like 2000?
3DS was like
10?
2000, it was like 10 or 11.
12.
Like
it was like, it was either 11 or 12 because Pokemon was supposed to be, Pokemon Black and White came out in like 2011. So
I remember
it's like the next.
Yeah, I remember getting a lot of headaches, like playing in 3D mode, so I just turned it off. Like I'd turn it on and like I'd play Mario Kart for a while, but I'd started to get like actual like eye strain from it, so I'm just like, no, switch that off. I don't need it. So
the original release was spring of 2011, and then the extra large version came out the following year in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it was so bad that when they finally came out with the new 3DS and it had the eye tracking, I think there was like some high up Nintendo executives that were just like, we're sorry, we should have done this a long time ago because this was bad.
Yeah, we'll leave
that's
it to
why
Nintendo.
they made the 2DS.
Yeah, when they made the 2DS and just screwed the 3D portion completely.
Gosh, yeah. At that point, it was just so oversaturated. Like, people were moving on from the 3DS at that point.
Point is, 3D is hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do consistently and interestingly.
Yeah. But when it was good, it was really good. Once again, Avatar in 3D was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it really was.
James Cameron is a great businessman. He knows how to make money.
And then we're gonna get 3 more of those movies at some point.
After he's done exploring the bottom of the ocean, yes, of course, sometime.
Yes, raising the bar. But yeah, I think the sequel to Avatar is supposed to supposedly finally come out next year.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
We'll see if that actually happens.
That's the current.
That's right.
Current rumor.
It's like because I remember they were
come out.
Yeah, because they've been talking about this movie since the first movie came out. They've been talking about making these 3 sequels for over a decade now.
I can't wait for the sequel to come out so I can go see that without seeing the first movie.
Like Frozen 2.
Yes, just like Frozen 2. I've never seen the first Frozen, but damn, the second movie was great. And I'm never going to see the first movie of Frozen because I played through Kingdom Hearts 3 Frozen World, so I already know the plot of Frozen. Because that's totally.
I also told you the plot of Frozen.
That's totally what happened in Frozen, right?
Yeah.
They went up a tower for like the entirety of the movie, up and down one singular tower.
No, that's not. The music's what happened.
That's what Sora did, though. He went up and down a tower, so that had to be what actually happened in the movie.
In the movie, Andrew.
Yes, the main character of Frozen, Sora.
I knew it. I knew it. Yes. You see, why would I bother seeing the first movie then? In fact, when they make Frozen 3, I'm just going to wait till Kingdom Hearts 5 comes out, and then I'll play through Frozen World 2 then. I don't know.
It's not gonna be Kingdom Hearts 5. It's gonna be Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultra Screen. Dreams Part 2.
Kingdom Hearts 3D edition.
Like it will
Please
not.
don't stop speaking this into existence.
It's gonna happen.
It's Nomura, man. Anything
Nomura.
can happen.
As long as it's got time travel involved in it, it's gonna happen.
Like, please stop speaking things into the universe. We don't need more bad things in the world.
It's okay. We have enough bad things in this world because the movie 8th Grade by Bo Burnham exists.
That was
Alright.
a great movie, sir.
It was disgusting.
I keep
Absolutely.
hearing about this movie from you guys just in passing as just like an incident. And
you're going to watch
I
it.
just don't know what's going on.
I think
You
what
will.
happened was it hit Andrew a little too close to home.
It's called 8th
That's one
Grade.
thing.
Like, I should have seen it coming. But the deal is, I really wanted to see a different movie that had been coming out around the same time. And that movie I really wanted to see was called Sorry to Bother You, which was this great visionary movie starring Lakeith Stanfield. And
Yes.
I was super psyched for it, but at the time that the movie came out, I think it only came out at the Marcus Theaters in our town, like for one night, or at the longest it was there for a week maybe. I can't quite remember. But it showed up for a very limited time, and I didn't know that. So I was really busy working at my job at PBS at the time. And I was working a lot of late nights and overtime. And I got back one night, and I had told Trey and Matt, because the three of us lived together at the time, like, I really want to go Sorry to Bother You. I have to work late this night, but once I get home, then we can go see the movie. So we all planned on it. I get home from a long and tiring day, drop off my book bag, and I go to Matt. I'm like, all right, we good to go to the movie? And he's like, yeah, about that. He looked it up, and the movie was gone. Had left the theater like the day before or something. It was not there anymore. So,
Where was the closest it was playing? Because we saw it was playing in a different town. I forget
Yeah,
how
there
close
was like
it
a
was.
showing like an hour away, and we had like 45 minutes to get to the theater, and we just decided it wasn't worth it.
yeah, I was way too tired to make a drive like that just to see the movie. So, I was really upset, and I said to you guys, well, I want to see a movie tonight because I really had my heart set on it. So, I said, okay, what is at the movie theater tonight? Like, what can we go see? Well, there was one movie that had just come out. There weren't any other movies very good or notably worth seeing, but there was one movie, 8th Grade. And I look at Matt and I say, well, I really do like coming-of-age stories. I'm a big fan of childhood stories, and yeah, I mean, 8th Grade is a tumultuous time for anybody, so I bet it'll be interesting. Screw it. Let's go see that. I just want to go buy a large popcorn, okay? Just want to buy a large popcorn, turn off my brain for like 2 hours. So we pick up our stuff, we drive over there, get to the movie, and I mean, I don't really remember much about the movie itself besides that part where the girl is looking at the Instagram for that boy in her class that she really likes, and she like starts kissing her phone because of the pictures of the boy on the Instagram that she really likes. And the second she starts kissing her phone, her dad walks in and she flings this phone all the way across her room, like throws it, chucks it. Screen is just demolished. And he's just standing there in the doorway having seen that. I think she like screamed
She yells
a
like
little bit.
nothing or something.
Oh.
Just preemptively yells nothing and yeets the phone.
That sounds
Yeah.
absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, no, this whole movie was the cringiest thing we could have seen at any point in our lives. This is literally a cringe movie. And every time something really bad happened, I would lean over to Andrew and be like, you wanted to see
I didn't want to see
film.
that. I
And
didn't want to see that. That's different, okay? That's different. what was the movie about the boys, and I think they were also in 8th grade. It was that movie by Seth Rogen. Good Boys. Good Boys.
Good Boys.
Yeah.
Boys. I think
That was funny and cringy. 8th grade was trying to murder me on a day where I was already feeling pretty damn murdered. That movie was trying to eviscerate me emotionally, and I could not take it. I could not sink any further. I could not retract my neck any further into the back of this movie theater recliner seat. I had to look away from many parts of the movie. And at one point...
Yeah, I know that.
At one point, I said enough was enough. And I got up, and I tried to leave. And Matt and Trey, they grabbed me. And they pulled me back into my chair. They didn't let me leave. I fought them. I fought them very hard. Like, I pushed them off.
Was there anyone else in the theater?
Barely.
Yes.
Maybe
I mean,
maybe
it was a
another
late night
group.
showing on a
pretty empty.
weekday.
It was like I
It
think
was a late
like
night showing on a
Tuesday.
weekday, so there wasn't a lot of people. But there were people. There were people in the theaters.
So eventually, I managed to break free of their grasp. I ran out the theater and I drove home. Like, I did not stick around for the remainder of that movie. I think I got through like
You didn't see the ending?
no, I don't know how that movie ends, and quite frankly, I don't want to know how it ends. I left, and I think you guys got home like an hour later. Yeah, that was a very disappointing night.
Yeah.
I was overall questioning humanity that night. Thankfully, I did.
Thought you got up and left. I think I remember you leaving, but I thought you were still in the hallway because I couldn't. I was like, when you're telling the story, I'm like, wait, how did we get home then? Did we drive separately?
I think we did. Either that or maybe I did wait in the hallway. I can't quite remember, but I think we drove separately.
We did that pretty often during college, so
Yeah.
just for everybody's schedules.
I had anticipated that maybe the movie would try to murder me. So,
Maybe it was because you were coming
Clearly
straight from
didn't
when we were
anticipate
going
hard
on the-
enough to just nope out of it earlier.
no, I did
Oh
not.
god, that
My
was
foresight.
that was a fun night.
My soul fled from my body. Yep, there were other really cringy things in that movie too. I just really
There was a lot of cringe.
Hey, Bo Burnham, if you're listening, which you're not, but if you are, I hate you. I hate you so much.
Welcome to the internet,
Go die in a garbage dumpster gasoline truck fire. You deserve it, Bo Burnham.
Like you missed the part where you missed the ending where the girl and the one guy she met that was just like a friend to her had a chicken nugget date.
That's
They
weird.
had a chicken McNugget. They had a McNugget date. They had a date at the end of the movie where they just had McNuggets and they had all the sauces, and then they started referencing Rick and Morty for Szechuan sauce.
Of course they did. That is great cringe, but it is adorable.
There was also that one where she was looking up how to.
Oh God!
We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. You know what? If anybody
Just
listening to
wanted to
this,
see if you remembered.
if anybody listening to this wants to go watch 8th grade, I pity your soul, but you can go do it. Bo Burnham's a pretty
good
easy to find
movie.
guy. Oh my god.
Edward.
Oh my god.
God.
Man, how little humanity that man must have left in order to have directed that scene.
I mean, if you ever watched
Hey,
his
like,
Netflix stuff,
inside.
yeah,
You need to.
not much. There's not much left in him. There's not much left in that man.
Apparently not. Yeah, I did see that one clip of Inside, and he does seem pretty shriveled up.
You saw like the Peppy clip.
Oh no,
Yeah, you saw him at his peppiest.
that's really unfortunate. Well, what about Sorry to Bother You? We've all seen that movie by this point.
Yeah, I've seen Sorry to Bother
I
You.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie, isn't
I
it?
walked in halfway and it was. They turned them into horse people, Andrew.
No! You gave it away. You gave it away. That's the big twist of the movie.
Spoilers, Trey. Gosh.
But yes, he's right. They turned them all into horse people. They turned them into horse people. I remember we saw that movie right before our entire group went to an anime convention. Like, we all watched it together the night before at our apartment. So the whole following weekend of the convention, I just keep hearing Frank in the merch room saying, "They're turning them into horse people." No!
I spent the entire weekend looking for a horse head.
We couldn't find any.
I couldn't find any. God damn it.
I wish you would have found it and then just came up to everyone while wearing it. It's just like, I love it.
No, what I wanted to do was, as Andrew woke up in the morning, just stand in front of him going, I could scare the crap out of him as he woke up. It'd be great.
I'd have a heart attack. I'd be like, oh no, he's coming for me. He's gonna turn me into a horse person. No, sorry to bother you is like all kinds of levels of like absolutely messed up. Tons of thematic elements there. It's a massive trip. But it's one of my favorite movies. Like, it's one of my most memorable movies. It's funny. It's kind of inspiring. It's got a lot of dark tones and themes and a really sad message in it. But, I mean...
It's literally Andrew's cup of tea. It is the most Andrew thing you could possibly think of.
I have a brand.
Almost the most Andrew. Almost the most... It's like almost the most Andrew thing.
It's very
a couple of things that could be better.
I have an actual brand because people like Trey will be like, "Hey Andrew, this movie's totally like you," and I'm like, "Oh no, it's not. No. You can't be right. There's no way you know me that well." And I'll watch and be like, "Crap, they got my number. Yeah, this is definitely me."
Stop being a good friend, Andrew. It's what I do with my anime recommendations. If I recommend an anime specifically to you, I hope you'll like. I assume that you'll like it.
Did you ever recommend Sarazanmai to me? Did you recommend that?
No.
Okay, good. Because I watched one episode of that and I did not like it. Somebody said that it was for me, and I'm like, no.
That was probably Drew.
Probably.
It was probably Drew trolling because it was
most
Drew had all of us watch that first episode.
The kappas, man, just the horror.
Yeah, that was some messed up stuff. No, I want none of that. But yeah, Sorry to Bother You is great. I don't know, Trey, like, where do you want to go with the conversation? Did you want to, like, talk about...
I mean, since we're talking about movies we love, what's everyone's favorite movie? That's the title of the podcast. What's everyone's favorite movie? Like, we got Andrew's. Spencer's. What's your favorite movie?
Well, I wouldn't say Sorry to Bother You. I wouldn't say Sorry to Bother You is my favorite movie. It's just, like, the one that I remember the most. But I'll let Spencer go.
What's your favorite?
Gosh, trying to choose like a favorite movie overall is just really hard. Like, I think I like breaking that kind of question up into like, what is your favorite movie in a genre? And the thing that comes to mind is like for like a sci-fi film. I really liked the movie Arrival.
That was
the movie Arrival
I heard it was really good.
Oh, it was really, really good. It was an unexpected use of language and time travel that was just like, wow, I was not expecting any of this, and it just really worked, and it was really interesting. It also it scratched the itch that I had always kind of wanted to see put to the screen, whether it be the big screen or the little screen, of an alien race coming down and we have no idea what they're saying. And they have to go through the very, very hard grunt work of trying to translate and figure out what exactly it is that they are saying. And that was just fascinating to watch unfold.
I mean, if they had watched Pacific Rim, all they know, you just have to hijack into their brain and then plug it into your brain.
Nah.
Wait, we're talking about plugging
like it's
things
not-
into our brains now? Is this Ghost in the Shell?
Yes.
Elon Musk is
No,
taking over.
That would be the logical progression of that thought.
No, this is Evangelion.
Oh God, we'll talk about Evangelion in a moment.
Can we go back to Ghost in the Shell then? I don't want to go to Evangelion.
Well, I will say, since this is the movie podcast, like, the live-action Ghost in the Shell movie was good. It was
Alright,
good.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
I'm
alright.
sick and tired of hearing all these critics online, even the Trash Taste Boys being like, oh yeah, the movie was a total butchering. I'm like, no. It was good. It was not anything to write home about, unfortunately, like it should have been, but it was good, and it was faithful, and holy hell, it was gorgeous. That movie is
So does that
lovely.
count as your favorite movie?
No, no, it does not.
Well, what is
Yeah.
it then, Andrew?
The live action
not
Ghost in the Shell was interesting, especially considering that it was probably one of the more well done just live action anime adaptations that I had seen up to date.
Yeah, it's one of the few times
Yeah.
Hollywood didn't completely botch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't completely botch it, but they didn't exactly like stick the landing either.
No, they didn't do a
Yeah.
home
Like
run.
there's been so many stories over the years of live action adaptations just absolutely just missing the mark entirely. So to have one that was just like, okay, this got closer. So in that regard, it
In
was
target
pretty good.
range.
Yeah, it was within target range.
Yeah.
It is a good C. It is a good C movie. It's not B or A, which would have been much better. It's a good C movie.
I want to argue it was a B movie, but I didn't see it more than maybe twice.
I only saw it the one time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, I think that I'm happy that Blade Runner 2049 came out around the same time that Ghost in the Shell did, because 2049 is the one that really was the cyberpunk like knock out of the park that we all needed and that the movie industry needed. And I think it's very on brand that just like the original Blade Runner's theatrical run, 2049 did not sell well.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, I think it was launch night. I think the movie came out on Wednesday for some reason. And Ed, Matt, and I went to go see the that Wednesday night release, like the theatrical night release. And we were the only three people in our entire row. And we sat in like one of the big movie theaters. Like I think they showed it maybe in not number 1, but number 2 at our Marcus Theater. So, you know, we were lamenting a little bit about like, oh man, like I wish more people came because it was such a good movie. And like we kept talking about it, like all the way home after we saw the movie that night. Like it left an impression. And funny enough, I saw Blade Runner 2049 I think at least 2 more times before it left theaters. And the third time I saw it, I technically skipped work so I could go see 2049 one last time before it left theaters, because it was the very last day it was going to be in our town, and there wasn't anything really exciting happening at work. So I told my boss I had a cold and I wasn't feeling well. So I got
Wow,
there.
Andrew.
I left work.
Hockey.
I left work at like
In
1:30. I left work at like
in the
1:30.
air.
And as I'm on my way out the door, I stop by one of my coworkers' cubicles to tell them, oh yeah, I'm going to go see 2049. And she's like, are you kidding me? You're actually going to leave work and go see it? I'm like, yep. And the IT guy 2 cubicles down hears it and shouts, are you going to go see Blade Runner? I go to his desk. I'm like, yes, sir. And he shakes my hand. He's like, go have fun. And I'm like, heck yeah, I will. See you later. So, yeah, that was good. I love that movie, and I wish that they do another
So
theatrical
is
run at
that
some
your
point.
favorite movie, Andrew?
No, but I'm gonna let everybody else go. I want to go last.
All right, Matt, you want to give it a shot? Matt?
Matthew Son.
Let's see. Yeah, it's another tough to choose any particular. I have the genre favorites.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could list off some genre favorites if you really want to.
I also like sci-fi and stuff a lot, but let's see. General, I'll say Stand By Me.
Ooh,
Stephen
yes.
King. Nice.
Yes.
Stephen King from
That
the
is
80s.
like the classic Matt pick.
Yeah.
I also enjoy the coming of age genre of movies, and I think that one does a really good job of it. It's also different enough to be interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not a
Stephen King twists.
Yeah, it's not a Cujo. It's not a Misery, but it's a good classic.
You wouldn't know it was a Stephen King movie unless somebody
No.
told you. It's definitely in its own.
I mean, it's so good that it's got a reference in Pokemon.
It
Yes,
is.
it does.
Pokemon
Yes,
references
the very-
it a lot.
The
Blue.
very first Pokemon, that TV that you look at, that where they're showing like the 4 kids walking down the track, and even the recent music video with Acadia for the song,
Yeah.
those 4 kids, that's a reference to Stand By Me. Whoever
Yep.
over in Japan that liked that movie enough to like put it in the game, and it's been a reference ever since. It's like, wow.
Apparently, Stand By Me was
Yeah,
just
as long as you
popular
play
in
as a
Japan
guy,
when
you
it
will
came out.
see that reference. Yep.
It's interesting.
They just really liked it for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it hit so well with Japanese audiences, but I do think Japanese audiences also are big fans of coming of age stories because, I mean, heck, that's 90% of anime for one thing.
Anime.
But,
It's just like anime.
but I don't want to judge Japan's taste in cinema purely off of anime, so it's hard to say why they liked it so much, but they did.
Maybe the fact that it was like outside of a city and stuff. It was very unstructured.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
like a big departure in terms of environment.
School's very serious over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be
So
the reason
seeing
why.
that age group.
Like kids that age in Japan, I would presume like they spend a lot of their time
Getting ready for
studying.
middle school.
Yeah, so you don't have a lot of opportunity to just live out being a kid and having fun. So I'm reaching here, but it certainly could be part of the reason why.
No, it's because they kick 10-year-olds out of the house. They kick children out of the house at 10 years old, so they just
Oh my
enjoy seeing
God.
movies where the kids are on their own.
Before they win their gym battles.
Yes.
Obviously,
Before they win their gym battles, yes.
and become league masters within about a week.
My God. And then after you become like, Elite Four champion, you become dissatisfied and you go up to the top of a giant mountain and just train for a year.
The real problem,
It's
that's
just
why their birth
weird,
rate's so
actually.
low. The kids are just all climbing mountains and staying there.
Oh, this is the Japan bashing podcast now. It's okay.
Well, who else wants to go on the movie?
Wish I was that cool when I was 10.
Frank, what's your favorite movie here?
Give it to us. I'm curious.
Well, like you guys, again, I don't have a favorite in general. I have like several. I can run by a couple by you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
First one you might not think of, Young Guns.
Oh,
Never heard of
Yeah.
it.
Really?
I vaguely remember that. What was that?
It's
Young Guns.
it's about Billy the Kid. Emilio Estevez is Billy the Kid. Yeah, and his little posse that was running around before he became the notorious outlaw.
oh,
So
I've seen this.
so it's a western.
Yeah, Western. It's Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips, Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen.
Oh wow, that's a pretty good cast too. Wow.
I think
Yeah.
I have seen this, but it was a long time ago that I've seen it.
Oh yeah, no, it's that Blade, the first Blade with Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good taste.
My favorite retelling of Romeo and Juliet, Romeo Must Die. featuring Jet Li and Aaliyah.
Yeah, with Jet Li in it. Yeah.
I thought
Jet
you were
Li and
gonna
Aaliyah.
say. I thought you were gonna say the Leonardo DiCaprio adaptation of Romeo and
You mean
Juliet.
the
Oh my god! I remember
on
in
high
English
school
class.
boobs?
You gotta watch
We
that one
watched
too.
that.
Everybody saw in English class in high school.
Yes, and it was just so weird.
You have a gun that says sword on it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was great. It was freaking fantastic.
Yikes!
Yeah,
man.
It's like making it modern.
Yeah, horror movie. Probably, I would have to say my first one I've watched was Child's Play 2.
Oh, ooh,
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say that.
really?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. It's one of the first ones I watched.
Bright energy.
Yeah, it's one of the first ones I watched. Again, one of my favorite scenes is them playing paintball.
I didn't see Child's Play, so I wouldn't know.
Like, please don't describe it. Please
No.
don't.
But I respect that. It explains a lot.
Yeah, sci-fi, then probably Alien.
Yeah.
Of course. A
Again.
classic.
Again, totally on brand.
Classic.
Yeah. And then probably Scorpion King with The Rock.
That was entertaining. That was definitely entertaining.
Beautiful. I love it.
I forget, did that one also had a bad CG Rock in it or not? I can't remember.
No. It's the origin stories of the Scorpion King.
Yeah,
So
I know that, but I can't remember if they did the CG Scorpion King or not.
No, it's him firing an arrow at the guy and telling him to catch this, and him jutting off a giant building. So it's really fun.
Yeah, no.
Da Vinci Code. I have a lot, but I would have to say those are
Oh
my
god, the
favorites.
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
I
And that
remember
Your Mom's
seeing
Wet
that for
Dream?
the first time at my aunt's house when I was like, oh, how old was I? Probably not old enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
trust me.
It was strange, and I'm surprised that I was allowed to watch it through all the way.
Yeah.
Got that albino
Looking back
monk
on
whipping
it.
himself all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, John Carpenter's Vampires.
I think I've
I
heard
don't
of
think
it.
I don't think I've actually heard of that one.
James Woods playing a vampire hunter ordained by the Catholic Church.
Are you sure
One thing-
he wasn't the vampire?
No, he was hunting down vampires in Mexico. I think
Why?
his best friend was Daniel Baldwin, the other
The
Baldwin.
other brother?
Yeah.
Hey Matt,
Impossible.
Drew says, remember when we watched the Da Vinci Code in theaters when we were kids?
That's what I was imagining. Yep.
That's
Oh,
unfortunate.
God.
That is
Yep. We went to go see it together.
unfortunate. Ooh boy.
Like, this is a good movie, right?
Yeah. Like
I never forgot it.
I bet you didn't. I bet it left a lasting impression on you.
I did.
yeah. My favorite scene from that was him explaining to a priest that garlic and holy water don't work, and that he might as well just let the vampire walk all over him and bite his neck.
Huh.
So
Well,
like
then,
it,
I guess
like I have movies to show you guys that are so much fun.
Oh, we're not watching any of those movies.
Oh, I don't
I know,
know.
Trey. I know, Trey. I'm good. Yeah.
Trey, I think
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
take-
get outvoted here.
I'm gonna take you to a horror movie, Trey. I'm gonna have you sit there.
I can avoid.
He'll die.
I don't really watch horror movies either. I think the only one that I think there's only like a couple that I've legitimately watched all the way through. And the one that springs to mind, I think, is Insidious 2.
Oh, you watched the
Well,
bad
did
one
you
too.
know?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Bad one.
Yeah, I remember watching, I think it was Insidious 2, and just being like,
How did you end up watching that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I cannot for the life of me remember. And I haven't really watched other, like, horror movies. Though there was the kind of, like, parody movie, what was it? The Cabin in the Woods?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was
It was
just
made as a
that
parody.
one was just funny to watch.
It's crazy.
I also watched Scream that one time.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was a ritual because it was like Halloween when we watched Scream together. No, most of us had not seen it by that point.
Yeah, I do remember watching that.
Like the original Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the OG Scream.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the OG Scream is very, very like self-referential and all that stuff. So it's, you know.
I remember when Cabin in the Woods came out. I believe it was the summer after I graduated from high school, and
Sounds about right.
Back then, I was even less like able to watch horror movies than I am now. But I couldn't stop laughing the entire time through Cabin in the Woods. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It really opened my eyes that horror could also cross over into other genres. And I mean, good gracious. Like, that movie came out the same summer that Avengers came out. So Joss Whedon was just everywhere. But yeah, Cabin in the Woods was the little known movie he made on the side that happened to break new ground in other ways that Avengers didn't. So
Alrighty then. And with the horror hour over,
real quick, I
back
want
to
to
some
say,
wholesome times.
I want to say real quick, Drew also commented, he said, I remember we also went to see Stranger Than Fiction in theaters. We had some good date nights, Matt.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh.
We did see a lot of movies.
But yeah, Trey, I'll let you go now.
Like, so yeah, to get us out of the horror show for the time being. Yeah, my favorite movie. I'm a basic bitch, but I love Into the Spider-Verse and Black Panther. Those are my two favorite movies. Like easily my two favorite movies of all time.
You're the sunflower.
Like, Rush Hour trilogy.
You're the sunflower.
Sunflower.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we're not gonna get DMC strike for that because we're not gonna sing in the song. But yeah, no. Marvel movie, superhero movies, action movies, Disney movies. I'm your guy. I'm your guy for that stuff. It's
He's the guy, so I don't have to be.
As far as like adventure films go, I was always a sucker for the Indiana Jones movies. Like I really liked the Indiana Jones movies.
They're fun.
Oh yeah, they're always so much fun.
First one was great. Second one was kind of. The third one was just like, oh yeah, and then fourth one was just kind of. All right.
Wait,
you didn't like Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls?
Who doesn't like Shia LaBeouf?
I will say that I liked it more when I was younger and when I had first seen it, but now looking back on it and actually comparing it to the others, it's like, oh, that's what everyone was complaining about. Okay.
Well, you see, that's where you screwed up. You compared it to the others.
I mean, all of them are pretty good.
Supposedly, there's going to be another one made. I don't know how they're going to do that, but
they're working on it right now. It's coming out. It's like that was one of the things talked about with the Lucasfilm film slate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're making Indy 5.
Harrison Ford is so old.
He really is.
He doesn't care anymore. That's the problem.
He really
He
doesn't
care anymore.
Why does he even have to do this? Why does he doesn't need money? He's Harrison Ford.
I don't know if he's gonna be in it fully. He's probably gonna be in it, but he's gonna be like
that he was like got really like super famous known for, like with Han Solo from Star Wars and Indy from Indiana Jones. I think between those two, he is on the record for saying that he enjoyed actually making Indiana Jones more.
Yeah. It's because Indiana Jones.
He's so old.
Indiana Jones is inspired by a Western. And little known fact, Harrison Ford was actually very well known for Western movies before Star Wars happened. And part of the reason why he was cast as Han Solo is because they were looking for a cowboy-like character.
Yep.
Like Harrison Ford is in dozens of little known Western films. That's where he got the basis of his career from. So
gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, his later movies were much fun too. Air Force One, The Fugitive.
My plane.
I do remember Air Force One.
I
Do you
do.
remember
Yeah.
actually seeing that? I think I vaguely remember The Fugitive.
Spencer, Drew
Yeah,
says never listen to the critics. They'll corrupt you.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's right. Oh yeah, but Star Wars
right.
is a space western.
I want to go on record and say that in my personal experience, every single time that a movie critic or multiple movie critics online say that a movie is bad, I adore it. Like, I fall in love with the movie.
Get a hipster Andrew.
Case in point, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard apparently got totally slammed by critics, so people, I guess, didn't go see it because they heard it was bad. I have not laughed so hard in a movie theater since 22 Jump Street. So.
Captain Potter.
Oh God.
Yeah. So don't trust the critics.
I mean, I sure
Yeah,
hope
I
trust
don't
you either.
really-
Jesus.
I don't really tend to like just solely trust the critic stuff. However, if I come out of a movie feeling dissatisfied, I will oftentimes go and look at reviews and stuff and just like, okay, is what I'm thinking like
Exactly.
what other people were also thinking? And
Yeah.
then more often than not, that's the case. And then if I come out of a movie feeling like super satisfied, occasionally I'll go look at reviews and just be like, no, they weren't giving this a fair rep here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of movies that don't mesh with the critical eye.
Yeah, the critical eye, like honestly, like most like a lot of just straight action flicks kind of roll that way because they're basically supposed to be eye candy more than anything.
It's very clear that the Fast and Furious movies do not give a crap what the critics say anymore.
They don't.
That's
Fast and Furious, I don't understand how that's still going.
They don't have to. They just have to.
Two more movies.
They just have to go.
And the whole like recent meme that came about was like, oh yeah, the power of family is like, dear God Almighty.
Again,
Happy family, Spencer.
I mean, the formula for a Fast and Furious movie is fast car, hot women, family, and then it's print money. That's it. That's
Funny
all
for
they
Joe
need.
Burr.
That's all they need to make those movies. And again, I'm on board with them because they're so much fun.
Yeah.
Exactly, they're superheroes.
Yeah,
They're
I could
superheroes.
care. Like I could care less about how trife the plot is. I don't care. Things go boom, car goes and I'm having fun.
Yes, and it's all about family.
Nothing stronger than family.
Like
Where's
again,
the
my
memes?
favorite-
Bring back the memes.
My favorite movie out of all of
Stop,
them
Andrew,
is
you're gonna kill
Fast and
Drew.
Furious 2.
I will. That's the plan. Sorry, what'd you say, Frank?
Oh yeah, you mean Too Fast, Too Furious? It's like
Yeah, Too Fast, Too
Did
Furious.
your name? Hey, Jack Del Cito, son!
Too Fast, Too Furious was like the last one they did where it was like mostly about cars, right?
No,
No,
mostly
that-
about Paul Walker.
Oh, okay.
After that one, and then Tokyo Drift, they're like,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we need Vin Diesel back.
Vin Diesel.
We needed a little bit to save the franchise. I don't know what you're talking about.
God, massive spoiler here, but Vin Diesel shows up in the end credits scene for Tokyo Drift. And it's the funniest thing because the movie completely advertises itself as like a outside the previous narrative of the first two movies, and then Vin Diesel just shows up, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we don't know what happened.
You gotta show him American muscle in Japan.
Yeah.
We got no answers about why he was there until like Fast and Furious 7 or something. And it was just so he could have like a brief conversation with the main character of Tokyo Drift. Oh man. But it was filmed so much later that the main character looks like noticeably older.
It's no longer in high school.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't even high school in the first one.
The dude who played the high schooler was like 30 already.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my gosh, he looked old enough to be Dom's brother.
That's who they should have made the brother instead of John Cena. More connect that way. Be like, this is my nephew. It's like my second cousin once removed on my aunt's side.
I need to go back and rewatch Tokyo Drift. Like, I need to rewatch The Cringe. I need to see, okay, who played the main character's like best friend? Like his
Bow Wow.
Bow Wow?
My boy Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bow Wow.
I gotta hear him trying to say Japanese again. Kore wa Daisuki desu. Like, I gotta witness more of that, man.
That actually happened.
Like, he didn't say that specifically, but
Bow Wow spoke Japanese fine. It's like
he spoke it fine in my opinion.
Spoke Japanese fine.
It was that
like,
guy who was like
fine, but it was
DK. What does that stand for? Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Donkey. Yeah, no, the guy, the lead, Sean. I think his name was Sean. It's like Sean was the country boy who was just new to Japan and was slowly learning the language, but sounded super American whenever he spoke.
Well, he had the country American voice. Like he had that country voice.
He was a fish out of water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. I think it's multiple of the roles he's played in the future and past is that he is a Southern boy.
Yep.
So wait,
but
what was your favorite
back to
movie?
Andrew? What?
No. I don't think you actually had a chance to say your favorite movie yet, Trey.
I said it right off the top. Into the Spider-Verse, Black Panther, the top tier.
Okay. All right.
Top tier movies. So it's that, and then Lion King, and then Rush Hour, and then the Rush Hour series.
Ooh, yes.
Gotcha.
Ooh, Chris Tucker.
Rush Hour. Rush Hour 3 didn't have the same spirit, in my opinion, but it was still very fun. I think Rush Hour 2 is the one that I've seen the most of. Is that the one where like they dropped that one dude from like the Eiffel Tower or whatever?
No, that was Rush Hour 3.
That was Rush Hour 3? Okay. Man, it all blends together. I just remember Jackie Chan and the bloopers and the credits and him trying very hard to say certain lines.
Well, yeah, that was one of the best parts of watching a Rush Hour movie is all the outtakes in the credits.
Yeah, all the times that Jackie Chan accidentally got hit in the balls.
Yeah, it's like all the stunts Jackie messed up, all the times Chris Tucker called Jackie instead of Lee.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. That's movie making right there. Okay, it's my turn, huh?
What? Yeah, go ahead.
What was I gonna say? I had my answer and I forgot it now. Well, it's definitely not 8th grade. That's not my favorite.
Are you sure, Andrew? Are you sure it's not your favorite?
Dude, I will go back in time to 2000.
Are you gonna say Summer Wars?
No, I mean I want to. I think it's my favorite movie altogether, but I don't want to pick an anime movie because I feel like this discussion is more leaning towards live action anyways. And plus, it's more challenging.
I'll bring up some cartoons.
Sure,
I'm gonna bring up some cartoons, some all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll talk about that too. But, like, I do want to, like, give myself a challenge by picking a live action film because I don't watch many of those. But I believe I don't have any doubt in saying that my number one favorite live action movie of all time has to be Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That movie was,
yep.
I never thought I could have so much fun at a movie theater until I saw Scott Pilgrim vs. the World with Drew. And we were both high schoolers. I think we were in the summer between junior and senior year of high school. And I knew nothing about Scott Pilgrim. Did not know that it was an American-produced comic book that got adapted into a movie. All I knew is that Edgar Wright, the guy who directed Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, I knew that he was the director. I knew a bunch of the actors. They were all A-listers. I knew Michael Cera from Superbad. And in my opinion, the way that Matt says that Stand By Me is his favorite, like, sense of a growing up kind of movie, like, in his opinion, that's like what growing up is like in cinematic form. In my opinion, Superbad is the epitome of growing up adolescent story. So I really liked Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. So when I saw Michael Cera was in Scott Pilgrim, I was like, well, I gotta see this. So I saw it, and that movie is on a cinematic level, like just ingenious. The way that they filmed it, the way that all the coloring in the movie is done, the acting, the timing, it's all meticulous. It's all very heavily crafted and intentional. The humor always comes out of nowhere. I love everything about that movie.
Yeah, round of applause for Edgar Wright, everybody. Edgar Wright makes some fantastic movies.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, like those were some really great comedy films, and also like what you were saying, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, just really great comedy film. I actually haven't seen the third one of those movies, The World's End.
Yeah, that was the one that was not as much to write home about for Edgar Wright's trilogy as the first two. It definitely felt a little forced, but it is different from the other two in its own way. It's still funny, still has a lot of the same Edgar Wright directing style. I think it just doesn't like hit home as much. But
yeah, I feel like I should like at the very least watch it just to be able to say that I watched like all three of what's considered a kind of very loosely like connected trilogy.
Yeah.
What was the name of that
loosely...
Seth Rogen movie with the zombies? I forget. Was it also The World's End?
It was called This Is the End.
This is the end.
Yeah. This is the end.
Yeah, and they both came out the same summer, so they kind of get associated with one another.
Yeah.
It's that one was also honestly that movie is way more memorable in my opinion because Emma Watson strolls in, steals all their crap, and takes an axe and chops the head off of a giant penis statue. Like
it's just GTFOs.
Yeah. No, like that movie is hilarious in its own way, and friggin' Danny McBride becomes a cannibal. And they what did they do?
Tatum in a gimp suit. God.
Oh man, they ate James Franco. It's the funniest movie.
I think as far as comedy goes, just in general, like those movies stand out because they actually do something interesting on screen, whereas so many comedies, it's all just lines and words, just heads talking. It's not actually doing anything interesting on the screen. That's probably why Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Scott Pilgrim are the things that spring to mind for me when I think comedy, because they actually do something interesting on screen on top of the actual script.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. The jokes, a lot of the humor is visual, or it kind of is humor where you put together two and two in your head and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like it doesn't just straight up talk at you to tell you jokes. Yeah, I totally agree. I remember there was that video from Every Frame is a Painting, the YouTuber.
Yes.
And he does that full analysis. Yeah, I think most of us have seen it by this point. It's famous.
Yeah, I remember when I first found that, and I'm so sad that channel is no longer alive.
Yeah. But those movies were great. Edgar Wright really knows his sense of storytelling for humor. Scott Pilgrim is my favorite for many reasons. I also felt like it kind of spoke to me at the time when I was in high school, because Scott was like the total idiot who just like wanted to play guitar and play video games. He was very selfish, but I mean, he had the potential.
He's kind of an asshole.
He's a total asshole, yeah. But he has the potential to be a better person. And I guess it was just like, I don't know. In a certain way, it also kind of felt like a movie about adolescence. It's just Scott was an overgrown child.
Yep.
So, but there were tons of video game references in the movie that I caught. I loved all the characters. They're all very memorable. I love the music. The soundtrack in that movie is amazing. So, yeah, no, that's probably my all-time favorite live-action film. It could be my favorite altogether.
I mean, it's the only movie where you can see Captain America, Captain Marvel get beat up by Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, Scott beat both Captain Marvel and Captain America. It's beautiful.
No, he beat up Captain Atom.
Captain Atom?
Or Superman, because technically he's both.
No.
Wait, was Henry
both?
Cavill in that movie?
No.
No, Brandon Roth. He was the Superman in Superman Returns, that really crappy 2006 movie.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but he was also Captain Atom in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, he was the Atom in both. He was introduced into Arrow and then joined the Legends.
That's amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, the bass battle is also probably one of my favorite parts in that movie.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my favorite live action.
Police. Chicken isn't vegan?
Oh my God! The the vegan police. Vegan police, open up.
Yes.
No vegan diet. No vegan powers. Yeah, dude. Like Drew and I, we referenced vegan police like for years to come, and the name of our Wi-Fi in our apartment is still vegan police. It's great. We give as many tributes as we can. Let's see, where were we gonna go from here? Yeah.
So either we could, after taking these highs, we could either talk about our least favorite movies. We already know Andrew's is 8th grade.
Yep. Yeah, I would say that was my least favorite movie. Yeah. It's great.
Or we could just talk about why there are so many bad movies. Let's just talk about that. Like why does every live action Disney movie make me sad?
Well, we can do both those things. Least favorite movies, and then why there's so many of them.
Yeah.
All right. So Spencer, do you have a least favorite movie?
A least favorite. That's the thing, is that I don't go to see films that I know that I'm not going to like, and
So you've never seen
really
a movie you've been disappointed by?
Gosh.
Did you ever see any of the Scary movies?
Oh. Never mind. I know exactly which movie I hate with fiery passion. The live action Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That is. I can actually look back on that, because I saw that. I didn't actually see it in theaters, but I saw it on Nickelodeon when they were playing it later, and I made the dumbass mistake of actually watching it, and I was so horrified by everything that I was seeing. I was like, this is terrible. Why am I watching? Oh God, this is no. Oh no.
You have to see it to understand that this is possibly the biggest massacre of a known IP to ever exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody
it was
who
just
is
so bad.
Anybody who is complaining that the Ghost in the Shell adaptation was awful has never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan.
They've never lived
no movie
as
in Bossing
a Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, and then seeing that movie. Oh God.
Did you say that none of the movie takes place in
movie
Bossing
in Bossing Say? No, there's no
it's
movie
just
in
the first
Bossing
book.
Say.
I don't
I know.
know.
I'm saying there's
there's no movie in Bossing Say.
We just don't. It doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. I wish they would make a live action Avatar movie.
Yeah.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He's making a reference, Andrew. He's making a reference.
I caught the reference. It took me long enough.
There's no movie in Bossing Say.
There's no movie in Bossing Say. Which is funny because, again, I can watch a movie and not put any of the source material two and two together and just watch it for the thrills. But god damn, that movie made me question
just even on its
choice.
own.
Yeah.
Even on its own, it was just a bad movie.
Yeah, no, again, I didn't watch it in the
It's a
terms of
very
like
bad movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch it in the terms of Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. I didn't do that. I watched it in terms of like, oh, that's a cool movie. We'll see how this goes. No, I just didn't like it. But I didn't leave the
it's
theater.
a bad movie all around.
Yeah, I didn't leave the theater even though it costed me $3 to watch it. So I'm like, I could just bite the bullet and take the $3. That's fine. But no, I sat there and watched it. I was like, I'm here. Might as well eat my popcorn. Watch them badly pronounce "ong."
Oh,
My heart.
I sat through the entirety of Dragon Ball Evolution in theaters when it came out.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I didn't leave the theater.
I enjoy Dragon Ball Evolution though because it's so bad. I can find some enjoyment out of it.
That is 100%.
Sadly.
That is 100% why I enjoyed the movie too. Like, I remember I had my dad drop me off at the theater, and my dad didn't understand why I wanted to see it alone. And he said, "Are you sure you don't want me to see it with you, Andrew?" And I said, "No, Dad, you're gonna hate it. I promise you, Dad. It's a bad movie. That's why I want to watch it alone." So he was so utterly confused. He couldn't fathom why I would want to see like a bad movie and why I want to see it alone.
A train wreck in slow motion.
Yeah, and I insisted to my dad, "Look, Dad, you're not gonna enjoy it like I will. So just come pick me up in a couple hours." So remember my dad, he comes 2 hours later, picks me up from the front, and he's like, "So how was it?" And I said, "Oh, it's just as bad as I thought it was gonna be." It was great. I remember I got like a large popcorn and a soda, and I was like one of 3 people in the theater. That was a good time. I remember when Goku punches Piccolo and Piccolo's flying, what they did is that they filmed Piccolo, the actor, just lying on his back in stationary motion. They rotated the camera in a circle as he's pointing at the camera going, "Ah!" waving his arms, but it's just him lying on a floor in standing motion. they're just rotating his body. It's so bad. It's so bad, it's great.
So many things wrong with the movie, but it's dumbly entertaining.
I feel like it's almost on brand with Dragon Ball. How cheesy it can be.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was fantastic.
So, Matt, I feel like you haven't watched enough bad movies, but what you got?
What you got?
Matthew?
Express yourself.
Let's see. I have a deep-seated hatred for an animated direct-to-DVD movie sequel called The Secret of Nim 2.
Oh. I remember this.
For the sole reason that I really enjoyed the first movie as a kid, and I was informed of the existence of the second movie much later, I watched it and was extremely disappointed that anyone ever put this together.
You were disappointed.
That is probably the only movie I truly hate.
Your day was absolutely ruined
Yeah.
after that.
Yep, my day was ruined. My childhood.
That's when he started slipping downhill.
Everything went downhill after that.
It all started with The Secret of Nim 2.
That's where the
All went
depression
down.
started.
Yep, junior year of high school. All went downhill from there.
Peaked in high school,
Damn.
just like the rest of us.
The self-consciousness
All right,
of
Frank,
what
how
I'm
about
living.
you?
Drew says he saw that coming, Matt.
I bet you did. I was very vocal about my hatred of this movie.
Yeah, I only know about
think
this.
You made me.
You've
Yeah,
told us all.
Everybody watched this.
You made everybody watch it.
Yeah.
So you can understand my pain.
Yeah.
think-
Again,
Go ahead, Frank.
yeah. For me, again, if I go to a movie theater and actually watch a movie, I'll sit there and watch it, even though I don't like it. But I specifically
Yeah.
the movie I recently didn't like, and I kind of wish I got my money back. It was that bad for me. Wonder Woman 1884 or 82, whatever.
Oh, really? It was
Yeah.
that bad?
1984. Yeah, that wasn't a great movie. It was not a great movie.
That made me actively go, I wasted $10 or whatever, $10 on this movie theater. I'm going, I really did not like this movie. I really wish I want my refund back for this.
Yeah.
See, that's why you should have just watched it on streaming.
Again, it was one of the first movies that ever made me do that. I could easily just, turn my brain off, watch it for the thrills, and leave and not watch it again. This one actively made me go, I truly wanted my refund for this. It made me waste so much time for this.
Damn, that actually, that's a valid complaint, but damn.
Yeah, the second Wonder Woman movie wasn't as good as the first, and really the only problem with the first movie was just that ending.
The ending was
That-
so
that was-
bad.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh.
It just wasn't very. It just wasn't good.
I mean,
But
you
the
know,
rest of the first movie, apart from that
CG.
bit,
I mean, you didn't like CGI Professor Lupin?
every other part of that movie was great. I loved everything that was happening. And then
Yeah.
the ending happened with Ares, and I'm just like, well, that was stupid.
Yeah, well, like, even
Yeah.
Chris Pine's character says right before that boss battle, you know, it's war. Like, sometimes there just is not one singular entity that is the root cause of all the problems. Sometimes it's more complicated than that. Sometimes everybody's a little bit bad and a little bit good, okay? Like,
Yeah.
the world's
Undercut all that.
the world is much more layered and gray than one singular bad guy that you just have to go fight, okay? So then he tells Wonder Woman that whole speech, really shakes her a little bit. He goes off to fight, and then as she's stirring on it, guess what? Oh, he was totally wrong. There is a bad guy you can just blame for all of it.
Yeah,
Whoop-de-doo.
It's a big undercut of a very well done moment. It's just like, why are you like this movie?
Yeah. It had a chance
Why can't you get your life together?
It had a chance to just kind of deconstruct the whole like superhero thing even more by not having like an ultimate big bad. But that wasn't going to happen. It needed its final like
It's not
big
what people
battle.
pay for, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah,
Wonder Woman just made me question, like, it truly made me upset. I was like, I wasted money and time on this. I will never get back.
Yeah, that's rough. That's super rough when you have to think about it that way.
Yeah, and I'm never like that. I'm never like that. I'm willing to, sit through it because, it's a good story. Might as well. Or action was fun. Something in the movie would make me go, it's all right. Not the full price, but it was all right. It gave me some entertainment. That one didn't. That one made me sad.
All right.
Yeah.
Then.
All right. I guess I'm the only one left, but is also The Last Airbender. That and After Earth. Shyamalan had two bad movies back to back, and I just hated him for it. It's like he ruined our only chance to have something other than SpongeBob be a good Nick movie, and then he ruined Will Smith for a little bit.
Wait, was After Earth the one? Yeah, it was the one with Will Smith where Jaden was with him in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the one.
It was the Will Smith.
Yeah.
It was the second time Will Smith and Jaden were in a movie together, and it was awful. It's like there was that movie, and then Green Lantern ruined 3D for me. It's like,
what are you talking about? What do you mean? No, big flying poop monster? Like, you didn't enjoy seeing that in full-on 3D? I know I did.
It's like the movie. It's like, thank you, Ryan Reynolds, for understanding how bad that movie was. But God, it ruined 3D for my entire family.
I think that movie was a necessary evil to set the low standard for like what superhero movies can never be. Like, Ryan Reynolds did us all a favor in the long run.
It showed us the truth.
It did ultimately get him to like reevaluate some stuff, and then we got Deadpool. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before that, he made a stop at Wolverine Origins, but still, hey.
Yeah.
But then Deadpool, he retconned Deadpool and
Deadpool saves everything.
He went back and did both those in one swipe. Hell yeah.
Yep. So this is a spoiler for Black Widow. I'm going to put a quick spoiler for Black Widow unless no one wants me to say it.
Go for it.
I mean, she dies in Infinity War. I guess in Endgame. So I guess you probably can't.
We all know. Anybody who's seen Endgame knows it doesn't matter what happens in Black Widow. She freaking dies.
No, it's actually something that happens in Black Widow. That is a rep. So we were just talking about how we were talking about Deadpool in X-Men Origins. So I want to. The comparison can also be used for Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie. That's something I am equally upset about because Taskmaster is such a cool villain, and they Deadpool from X-Men Origins her, and yes, it's a her inside the costume.
I see.
Wait, I don't get it. What do you mean they X-Men Origins her? Like they changed up her origin so much that it's not like the same character.
You know how Deadpool?
yeah.
You know,
First of
X-Men
all-
Origins had Deadpool in it, and he was just like cocky mouth, and he had
He was Ryan Reynolds.
spinning
Yeah, he
swords
was
and
Ryan
everything.
Reynolds.
Yeah, it wasn't really
Yeah.
the character.
Yeah,
No,
that's kind of what he's saying.
first half was.
I see.
Like the first half was Ryan Reynolds. The second half was they silenced Deadpool. That was the problem. They silenced Deadpool and then gave him all these powers. But same thing happens in this one. I'm not mad that she's a girl. I don't care about that. I'm mad that they ruined a charismatic character. They took away her voice, and she's not a mercenary for hire. It's like you ruined another villain we could have had for the TV shows, Marvel. Stop killing your villains.
It would be nice if Marvel would refrain from killing its villains. I guess now is a good time to segue into Marvel stuff. Who's looking forward to Shang-Chi?
Oh hell yeah, I am.
I'm excited to see what they
I
do
love
with the
martial arts
Mandarin.
movies.
Yeah.
Well, they've
It should
already
be
ruined
fun.
them once.
I
But they
think I'm more interested in seeing what happens in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Doctor Strange is really the movie everybody's talking about right now because multiverse is literally in the title. I think that's going to be the very defining movie in Phase 4 that's going to set the tone for what to expect moving forward. It's going to introduce a lot of things we've been waiting on.
After everything that happened at the end of Loki, the TV series.
So yes,
Yeah.
remember, people, you have to watch the Disney Plus shows now. You can't get away with not watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You are definitely doing yourself a massive disservice
I don't know
if you
about
don't
Agents
watch
of
the Disney
S.H.I.E.L.D..
Plus. Wait.
Well,
No,
also
except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Don't watch that. But if you're not watching the Disney Plus shows,
I know they discontinued it. I'm just saying in general. Like you can't get away with not watching the TV shows anymore. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was great. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, you can totally get away without watching that show. I disagree with what Trey's saying, but you can't.
I'm saying for these new shows.
For these new shows, yes. Like, I mean, honestly, like maybe Marvel could figure out a way to at least provide a little bit of context so that movie viewers like who only want to watch movies aren't totally lost. But you're missing out like hard.
Yeah,
if
no,
you're not
they'll
watching those
definitely
shows.
give context. They have to. But
Well, they'd have to, but they mostly assume everyone has watched it by now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is Marvel. You know, most people have watched it by this point.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
it is
how
getting to
good
that
they are.
saturation point.
I'm honestly more excited for Spider-Man, like No Way Home, because everybody and their grandma is rumored to be in that movie. Like we might finally have Spider-Verse. Who knows? I'm pretty sure at this point Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are all but confirmed to be in said movie. So,
Are they?
Oh,
like,
definitely.
Yes. There
Really?
are
Yeah.
rumors left and right. It's insane.
Well, rumors.
Yeah.
But
Which is why I say all but confirmed.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's very, very likely. We'll see, but it seems to be written on the walls that Spider-Verse is what Spider-Man 3 is going to be about. So,
We'll
just
see.
excited to see what happens there. There's rumors that Stephen Strange and Scarlet Witch are both going to be in the movie. You know, more of the multiverse stuff is going to cross over from Spider-Man 3 into Doctor Strange 2.
Well, I mean, Doctor Strange is already confirmed to have, well, obviously Doctor Strange, but Scarlet Witch, she'll be in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's already been confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the problem of which one, since they now are saying, because before Doctor Strange I thought was supposed to come out this year, but they moved it to next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they keep moving everything around right now, so it's hard to keep track.
Mhm.
Trivia. What's your guys' favorite Marvel movie? This is important.
Mm,
Once again, for me, it's either Black Panther is one, but number two would be Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Are we
Good
just
movie.
doing?
Good movie.
Are we just doing live action like MCU?
Yeah, we'll go with
or
MCU.
Just Marvel in general.
I think we'll
Okay.
go with
Oh.
MCU.
Okay, because my two ones are not part of the MCU. There were Blade and X-Men.
Oh, okay. All right. You know, we don't have to limit to the MCU.
Well,
Then.
but that's fair.
Yeah,
But
'cause-
do you have an MCU movie?
If we limit it to the MCU, well, hold on here. I might have to come back around to the MCU, but Marvel movie in general, my favorite one is Spider-Verse, because that movie was just absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Like, it was just such an amazing, just animated feature. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that made me actually cry.
Like bangers. It's like banger soundtrack, awesome story. They brought Miles and they did him right. Great animation style.
Yeah,
Spider-Verse,
they just
peak
really
movie.
did everything
If you haven't
right with
watched
that
that
film.
movie, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Fair point.
I think I
don't
watched.
Spider-Verse. If you
You're the
haven't watched it,
sunflower.
what are you doing?
You are the sunflower.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times in theater.
It's good.
Yeah, I think if I was going to choose a favorite MCU movie, I think I would probably go with the original Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like, I really liked the original Captain America.
I remember quite a bit about the original Captain America. It was good. Yeah, I think it's certainly way different from any other MCU movie they've made.
Mhm.
You know, if anything, just for the World War II aesthetic.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I mean, like, I think Steve Rogers is a totally different character in the first movie. He
He really is.
He's so susceptible to a lot of lessons that a character learns when they are trying to become a hero. Like, he wants to be a hero for gallant reasons, but he is still a kid in his heart. Like, you know,
Yeah.
who Steve really is not what he looks like on the outside by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the ultimate good of the world.
Yeah.
And then when he's thrown forward in the future where black and white don't matter, gray is everything. Even in your own country, it's, very poignant.
Mm-hmm. And it never really sits well with
Which is
Steve
why I
after that.
love Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and that's why Winter Soldier is my favorite one
Mhm.
for MCU.
Nice.
Again, he has to learn that lesson of, like, gray is everything. It doesn't matter now. It's all gray. So you pick and choose your battles and what you believe in.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, MCU.
It's clearly Avengers Age of Ultron. That's definitely your favorite.
Absolutely.
Hey, that party thing is freaking amazing.
Who doesn't love that movie?
I mean, it gets a bad rap. It's a good movie.
I actually find it fun. I find it very fun. I've rewatched Age of Ultron a few times, and I'm like, I mean, it's got its problems. I mean, it's got its pacing issues. There's a lot of plot holes. But is it fun? Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I think it was just that Ultron himself was just kind of like wasted potential.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, because Ultron's one of the bigger Avengers threat, and they killed him in 3 days. Stop
Yeah.
killing your Marvel.
Please stop doing this, because you can't bring him back for other storylines.
I mean, they have the multiverse now.
They do have the multiverse
Oh,
now, so
God.
they've. I mean, I've said this to Drew. Like, Marvel has set themselves up for the perfect basis to do whatever they want, thanks to the multiverse. So
They can do whatever they want. However,
within reason.
they need to be real careful with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
Great power comes great responsibility and all that shit.
I mean, I would really like to see
Drew said
Eric
Age of Ultron's
Killmonger.
no Dark World.
Oh God.
Yeah, we
That's
can all
the one
agree
movie I
Thor
think
Dark
is the
World.
worst.
Thor Dark World is definitely the best MCU movie, hands down. We can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
Well,
But yeah, Matt,
yeah.
favorite MCU?
Do you even
Probably
like any of the
Civil
MCU
War.
movies? Civil War?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably Civil War.
All right.
That's MCU. I enjoyed Days of Future Past specifically for that Quicksilver scene.
Oh my God, yes. Wait. We talking about the Quicksilver scene where he rescued all the people from that school?
No,
The one before
no,
that.
you're thinking of the original one.
The original
First
one.
class.
First
The
class.
one in
Oh,
the jailbreak. No, it
No,
wasn't.
no,
It was Future
jail.
Past.
Yeah, it is a future. Sorry. Yeah, it's the one
If
where he's.
I could save time
Apocalypse was
in
the
a
school.
bottle.
Yeah.
Got you.
But yeah, it was just really, really cool.
X-Men.
The only
Quicksilver.
reason we had to kill off Quicksilver.
He's too powerful.
Yeah, he was too powerful.
Yeah.
Too powerful for his own good.
He was way too cool.
Like, that's why we had to kill off the MCU Quicksilver.
Let's
He
see.
had to be eliminated.
Well, Matt, I can thoroughly say that you and I are one of a kind because Civil War is easily my favorite MCU movie. Like,
Yeah, it's
You mean
easily.
Avengers
like,
2.5?
Yes.
yes.
Avengers 2.5 is
Avengers
amazing.
2.5.
That was the Avengers
I
movie
also
that
love
we
Avengers
needed.
2.5.
Civil War. Okay, so I'm gonna break it down for a moment. But first of all, is anybody like on this podcast not wearing headphones? Because I can hear like a bit of echo of like my own voice.
I'm on.
No, I'm
Okay.
on headphones.
Yeah, I want to have fun too.
Okay, it's weird because I can definitely hear an echo, but I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I heard it earlier, but
Okay,
we'll worry about it later.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna break it down here. Civil War is amazing because, for one thing, it introduces both Spider-Man and Black Panther into the MCU. And they're both amazing characters with stark personalities we've been waiting a long time to see in the MCU. And they're both done amazing justice in this movie for the short amount of screen time they have. But the biggest reason why Civil War is, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie by a long shot is because it finally introduces the gray element of whether or not these heroes are actually doing good or their existence is more beneficial than detrimental to the people they are trying to save. With the introduction of the Sokovia Accords, the cast of heroes that we followed for years now, we're very fond of, and they've saved like millions of people. These heroes are finally starting to see the consequences of their actions, the aftermath of the battlegrounds after the big bad is gone. They finally start to see all the bodies piling up. And the villain of this movie, Zemo, he does something that almost no Marvel villain up until that point had done. He got the heroes to turn on each other, and the main conflict wasn't really about Zemo. It was about the heroes and about how they could not agree on how to better conduct themselves in a way where they could find that middle ground between being far too right-sided and becoming straight-up government agents or far too left-sided and just straying from the law entirely and doing their own thing as like free individuals. Like trying to find a reasonable middle ground where everybody could agree that, look, we're here to help and we want to protect people, but we have to find the right way to do it. And, you know, Zemo, he doesn't die in the end of Civil War, for one thing. He's one of the first Marvel villains that actually lives. And he doesn't even really want to live. You know, his goal was not like taking over the world. It wasn't any kind of grand scheme. At the end of the day, he just wanted revenge for his dead family. And he did it flawlessly.
Yep.
So, that for all those reasons and many more,
It's like
Civil
Zemo
War,
won in the end.
yeah, Civil War is fantastic. Also, the marketing around that movie was like brilliant because it was all the hashtag like Team Iron Man, Team Cap, you know, versus.
Team Cap all the way.
it was fun stuff. I thoroughly say that Cap was right for the wrong reasons. Like he wanted Bucky
Nah,
to
fuck the government, man.
I mean that too. But anyways, you know, I won't get into it too much further. Don't want to make it the Marvel podcast, but figured since we're
that's
talking
next
about
month.
movies, it may as well be next month. But yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, let's move away from talking about Marvel. Let's talk about the streaming wars. We got
the streaming
thanks
wars.
to the world. Yes, thanks to the destruction of the world that's going on that we easily could have avoided. We now are in an age where Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Peacock, and Paramount Plus, 6 different streaming services all have as much power to release movies as actual movie theaters do.
They do.
And it's just a question of how are we feeling about this? Like, is this actually going to be the nail in the coffin for the movie theater industry?
I don't think it's going to be the nail in the coffin.
I don't think so either.
Because there is still the spectacle of actually being able to go and see a film on a really big screen and just have like big surround sound stuff that you might not really be able to have at your home. Like, I don't think this is going to be, unless streaming services you just like decide like with their parent companies to just fund everything into them just outright. I don't think that it's going to be the end.
Yeah, the movie industry has been going on for a long time. So things like, just recently, Scarlett Johansson is asking for her contract to be, well, suing because her contract stated for money based on the sales for tickets in movie theaters for Black Widow. Well, since, Disney started streaming it at the same time, that cut some of her sales. So stuff like that will push back the movie production, the studios, the guilds, and all that stuff will push back. So I don't think that's the worrying factor for that stuff.
Yeah, I also think that with movie-going is an experience. Like, you are traveling away from your home. You're getting like your family, your friends together. You're all going out to see a movie together as a group, and you're buying concessions and stuff from the stand, or you're getting dinner beforehand, but your evening is planned around this movie. And when everybody goes into the theater, phones should be off, or they're at least silenced. And for 2 or so hours, you are doing nothing but watching a movie. Not multitasking, you're not taking breaks, you're not pausing the movie. Like, you are stepping away from all your responsibilities, your life as it is, to enjoy this cinematic tale with other people for a solid couple hours. And when you're done, everybody can talk about this movie they really liked together. It's a way to bond with your family or friends as well. And so going to the movies is an experience in its own way, whereas watching a movie at home, it's not as engaged. You can always pause it. You can always do something else. The setting is different, whereas in a movie theater, it's dark. There's barely any light. You're just focused on one thing. At home, the dynamic's completely different. So I think for that reason alone, don't sell movie theaters short, because they can definitely offer... They offer a retreat in a way. Movies are retreats. For many people, movies are an escapism. And it's hard to escape if you are still at home surrounded by all your other life stuff.
Yeah, you're totally right. But it's one of those things that comes up in conversations now and again, especially for people who like to make comedy. Like, thinking about when we get back to normal. It's like you start thinking about the comparisons of, yes, going to a movie theater is an event, and we all love the event of going to a movie theater. But sometimes you just don't want to go out. You just don't want to spend money. So you have enough stuff at home that you have enough amenities at home that you can enjoy a close to movie experience without, but it's still not enough, obviously. But playing devil's advocate, being at home, you can pause the movie if you have to take a piss, because some people can't make it through a movie without having to get up and go to the bathroom at least once. You can rewind if you miss something. You can adjust the volume and settings, so if your movie has the base of God in it, but you want to actually hear what the people are saying in the movie, you can adjust your settings on your TV. Yes. Inception and Tenet, looking at you guys specifically for your sound quality, for your sound mixing issues.
Oh, good gracious, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
Tenet.
God, Tenet.
Yeah, Tenet
Haven't actually seen it yet.
Insane. I think you'd like it, Matt. I watched that movie with Frank.
You definitely like it.
I had no idea what the heck
You would
that
have to
movie's
watch it
about.
at least twice. You have to watch it at least
I only saw
twice,
it once,
maybe
and
3 times.
I have no
Actually,
idea
understand what the
movie
heck
was.
is going on in that movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, because I see your point with that, because again, like I said, I do believe that's only for older movies. I think that's the more of a case where you have your library of items. So I think that's more of a better choice for older movies. I think newer movies will be still the movie theater, that experience with other people or seeing it for the first time. Whereas when you go to home, you have all this thing because you've seen already. You know the beats, you know the thing, you know where exactly to pause in case something happens. So I think older movies, yes, that would probably be the case for streaming, where they'll get more of a library. But new movies will never, not I shouldn't say never because they might change, but never have that same feeling as older movies as we know the.
I think the bigger question, as far as like the streaming wars are concerned, is not streaming versus movie theaters, but streaming versus itself, and just where are we going to find the equalizing line where some of these extraneous services that are popping up, are they going to like merge together? Are they going to shut down? Are we going to kind of fall back into like having just a couple? Like, how many services is it going to be before consumers finally say, no, not dealing with that?
I mean,
because everyone and their mother wants their own streaming service so that they can control their own library, but that is just not physically possible when everybody wants like $5 to $7 at the base subscription price. Like, you keep doing that and you just end up with the same price after a while as cable.
Yeah, you end up with cable, and that's the end. And if they keep adding more,
I suppose we come up with a way. That's why I suppose we come up with a way to make streaming service cable. We just somehow figure out a way to bundle it all together, sell it as a box, and we make millions.
Yeah, you know who should provide it? Dish and Spectrum. You know, they have many ideas for that stuff.
They already got that infrastructure.
Yeah, I know.
And a brand and everything.
Yeah. I mean, you also get local and TV on it. It'd be great. No,
like, if we can do this, we can make millions.
Yes, we can make millions on the back of everyone else's billions.
$1 million.
So because again, that's the idea of like how to bundle it. I thought Verve had a great idea for that. Verve had new stuff, Crunchyroll, Funimation. At one point, they had Shudder, Boomerang, and a lot of stuff. You know, different things to
but now the shell of itself.
Yeah, it kind of fell apart, and that's the saddest part about that. But like, it could have been something like that. A single place that had pretty much all the stuff you needed, all you wanted, and you didn't have to pay for everything. You could pay for different things at different prices. But it was like one stop. But that will never happen because they won't negotiate for something like that.
Yeah.
So
Drew also, I think he summarized it pretty well. We were talking about earlier.
We'll never get it, but one day.
Drew said, going to the theater gives a similar feeling as going on vacation, just shorter term and shorter distance to travel. And yeah, it's kind of all about the escape there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally fair.
So, do we have time to talk about anime movies explicitly? Or
I mean, do we want to keep talking? We're coming up on 2 hours.
2 hours. That's
yeah. Like, I mean, we can just do like a quick just lightning round of just being like, okay, what's like your favorite anime movie or movies, and just kind of close it all out.
Okay, Summer Wars.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Summer Wars for Andrew. Spencer?
Your Name for a non series tie-in, but if it's a movie that has a series associated with it, it would probably be one of the recent One Piece movies because those are awesome.
Yeah, dude, give it up
yes,
for
they
Strong
are.
Yeah,
World.
so
They
Your
are.
Name and the One Piece movies.
Yep. It's fantastic stuff.
Stampede. Stampede. Matt?
I'd agree on the recent One Piece movies for like series stuff. And then probably Castle in the Sky.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ghibli
Castle
movies,
Sky's
always
decent
top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Frank?
I think one of mine would have been Silent Voice.
I figured somebody had to pick that one.
Yeah.
It broke my heart, man. It broke
Dude,
my heart.
that movie hurts me.
Again, I
remember
don't get
seeing that.
again, I don't get emotional often when it comes to movies, stuff like that. But that one just broke me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one in theaters as well.
Yeah, that one. And then if I want to add a series, it would probably been Conquers of Shambhala.
Hey, give it up for
yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist,
Behind that.
03.
the original, the OG,
Yeah, dude, that's
OG
OG
03.
stuff. Yeah, mad
You know,
respect.
yeah, no, that was one of my favorite ones. As I was like, oh, this is awesome. Because not Brotherhood, I knew of the first one. I watched that, then the movie, and then the Brotherhood after that. But no, that one really was like, oh, they could have had so much more with the story. They could have, but but then they did with Brotherhood. I was like, all right, this is more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to
So,
pick a
yeah, for
series
me,
movie, sorry, I'll let you go.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I was gonna say Evangelion 2.22 is my favorite series movie.
I don't understand why you do this to yourself.
No. Hear me out.
You know he's a masochist.
Hear me out. No. 2.22 is a work of art.
Yes, you are.
Like, the pacing and writing of that movie is fantastic. The action, the music, cinematography, it's all great. The character growth is also at the peak of Evangelion's entire, like, anime existence. Like, Shinji and Asuka and other characters, they grow far more in 2.22 than they ever did in the original show or in End of Evangelion, in a positive way. Those characters all grow in a positive way and start seeing things through a positive light. And Shinji does the biggest thing of all. He does something for himself. He makes a decision. He makes a decision for himself for a change. I know what you're going to say, Trey. That's not it. No, we're not talking about the hospital room thing. No. He
I'm not going to say that. Why would anyone bring that up?
I figured you would. But the point I'm trying to make is that Shinji, like, he actually decides to do something for himself for a change and says, screw the rest of humanity. I don't care. I want this one thing. I'm going to go for it. Which, by the way, is apparently very non-Japanese.
What are the rules? I have money.
That is a very anti-Japanese thing to do. So, so to be that selfish, I thought was tremendously positive. And it ends on, like, the coolest freaking cliffhanger ever. It always gives me goosebumps every single time I see that credits roll in.
Well, isn't that the third impact? Is that how it ends?
It ends with Third Impact, yes, which is supposed to be the end of the world, and that is what everybody thought, like, the trilogy was going to lead up to. They thought that'd be the end of the third movie, but then they revealed there would be 4 movies total, and then they pulled it at the end of the second movie, which was entirely unforeseen. 3.33 is a flaming hot piece of garbage. I hate that movie. I hate everything it stands for. It bleeds my eyes every time I look at a cover that says Evangelion 3.33. I've only watched the movie once because I can't stand it more than once. But 2.22 is a work of art.
Before Andrew.
Sorry, that's it.
All
That's
right.
it. That's it.
All right. For me, it's kind of a toss-up, but honestly, probably my series one is probably Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Mugen Train is so unbelievably good.
The one that Frank
It is
watched you
so
cry in?
unbelievably good. Yes.
Yes, Andrew, you're the masochist. I'm the sadist.
Not a masochist.
Yes,
I take pleasure in that pain and suffering people give. Just watching them cry was fun.
My non-series one would probably be Spirited Away. And then I also have my favorite Pokemon movie, which is probably Pokemon movie.
Trey, I think you're cutting out here.
It's that, or it's gonna be Lucario. Those are time. Oh God! In case anyone didn't hear me, I said I like the Pokemon movies, but I also like Spirited Away. That's probably my favorite non-series one.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, Spirited Away is a classic. Like, everybody's seen it. Everybody loves it. It defined Studio Ghibli's career. It was the number one highest grossing
award.
Yeah. It was the highest grossing anime movie until Your Name knocked it out of the park, which disappoints me.
Actually, no, it wasn't dethroned until Mugen Train.
Mugen Train
was the one that dethroned Spirited Away.
Yeah, Mugen Train dethroned that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit better then. That's a little bit better. But got nothing against Your Name, but I definitely didn't feel like it was on Spirited Away levels of hype.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? I guess
right.
Ghibli movies are also just they're cinematic masterpieces in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of what my favorite Ghibli movie would be. Probably be the last one, the supposed last one that Miyazaki directed, the one about the airplanes.
The Wind Rises.
Wind Rises, yeah.
Wind Rises.
That movie was sad.
Yeah.
That movie was a heartbreaker, and I saw it in early college, but dang, it was good.
You showed it to all of us in your dorm room.
Yeah, I disseminated it hard. But it was great.
That's the first movie me and Andrew went to.
Really?
It's you and me. That was the first time we hung out outside of anime. I don't know if it was the first time we hung outside of Anime Club, but I remember that was the first movie we went to see together.
I apologize.
It's it was specifically you and me went to see. No, I enjoyed that movie, and I enjoyed seeing it with you.
Okay, all right. I'm happy the first time we genuinely hung out was not a total tearjerker for you. So, okay, good.
The movie was still sad, but I was I was impressed by the movie. I loved the movie. It was really good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Walked out of that thinking, I walked out of the movie thinking, 10 years of creativity. Let's go. And then I did nothing with it. Moving on. So yeah, thanks for sticking around the post credits, folks. I'm here for Advent 7 Goes to Space.
Wait. What about Advent 7 going to space? We're going to space now?
Yes.
That's natural escalation, right?
Yeah, it's the only shark we haven't jumped yet.
It's gotta be a trick, man. We always gotta go to space.
Yeah, we're gonna record our next podcast from space. Got it. Okay.
But we love to thank you all for tuning into the show. We hope you enjoyed it. It's as long as a movie, so hey, we just saved you $11 on a ticket. We saved you $11 on a ticket.
It was as long as a movie, wasn't it?
If you enjoyed the show, please leave a like. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Please follow us on Twitter at Advent_7. Also like us on Facebook. And of course, check out Advent7.com for all things anime, comic books, video games, movies of the like. From Advent 7, I'm your boy Trey.
I'm Andrew.
I was joined by
Andrew. I'm Andrew. And Andrew.
I was joined.
And Andrew.
Yeah, I was joined by Andrew.
Everybody likes me.
Spencer and Frank.
Yo.
All right, now go watch some movies.
And we thank you for tuning in. By James Gunn, coming out this Friday on HBO Max and in theaters.
Oh,
not sponsored, but hey, why not?
Sure.
Yeah, and from Avid 7, that's a wrap. And cut!
Woo.
Okay, we're done.